Hey everybody, Ross here, and this is Bible Study Silverstone. If this is your first time on this channel, click here to go back to the intro, or if you'd rather just see what's been happening recently, click here to go back to Genesis 41. And without further ado, I'm just going to jump right on into Genesis 42, verse 1. When Jacob saw that there was grain in Egypt, Jacob said to his sons, "Why do you look at one another?" And he said, "Indeed, I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down to that place and buy for us there, that we may live and not die." So Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. But Jacob did not send Joseph's brother Benjamin with the brothers, for he said, lest some calamity befall him. And the sons of Israel went to buy grain among those who journeyed, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. Now Joseph was governor over the land, and it was he who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came and bowed down before him with their faces to the earth. Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he acted as a stranger to them and spoke roughly to them. Then he said to them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. Then Joseph remembered the dreams which he had dreamed about them, and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said to him, "No, my lord, but your servants have come to buy food. We are all one man's sons. We are honest men. Your servants are not spies." But he said to them, "No, but you have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said, "Your servants are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And in fact, the youngest is with our father today, and one is no more." But Joseph said to them, "It is as I spoke to you, saying, you are spies. In this manner you shall be tested. By the life of Pharaoh, you shall not leave this place, unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you, and let him bring your brother, and you shall be kept in prison. But your words may be tested, to see whether there is any truth in you. Or else, by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies." So he put them all together in prison 3 days. Then Joseph said to them the 3rd day, "Do this and live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house. But you, go and carry grain for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified, and you shall not die." And they did so. Then they said to one another, "We are truly guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us, and we would not hear. Therefore this distress has come upon us." And Reuben answered them, saying, "Did I not speak to you, saying, do not sin against the boy, and you would not listen? Therefore, behold, his blood is now required of us." But they did not know that Joseph understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. And he turned himself away from them and wept. Then he returned to them again and talked with them. And he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph gave a command to fill their sacks with grain, to restore every man's money to his sack, and to give them provisions for the journey. Thus he did for them. So they loaded their donkeys with grain and departed from there. But as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey feed at the encampment, he saw his money, and there it was in the mouth of his sack. So he said to his brothers, "My money has been restored, and there it is in my sack." Then their hearts failed them, and they were afraid, saying to one another, "What is this that God has done to us?" Then they went to Jacob their father in the land of Canaan, and told him all that had happened to them, saying, "The man who is Lord of the land spoke roughly to us, and took us for spies in the country. And we said to him, 'We are honest men, we are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, and the youngest is with our father this day in the land of Canaan.' Then the man, the Lord of the country, said to us, 'By this I will know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother to me, so I shall know that you are not spies, or that you are honest men. I will grant your brother to you, and you may trade in the land.' Then it happened, as they emptied their sacks, that surprisingly each man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said to them, 'You have bereaved me. Joseph is no more, Simeon is no more, and you want to take Benjamin. All these things are against me.' Then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, 'Kill my 2 sons, if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you.' But he said, 'My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If any calamity should befall him along the way in which you go, then you would bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave.'" Alright, with Joseph supposedly dead, Jacob was reluctant to send Benjamin to Egypt, as he was the new favorite son in Joseph's absence. Though it didn't seem like the other brothers hated Benjamin at all, quite unlike Joseph. Now, in verse 6, the brothers all bowed themselves to Joseph, thus fulfilling the dreams of his youth. It's very understandable that the brothers would not recognize Joseph, but that he would recognize them. Unless my math is wrong, Joseph had been in Egypt for 27 years, possibly more, and had finished growing into a full-grown man there. Other than some wear and tear, the brothers all looked the same, mainly because they were already full-grown when they sold Joseph into slavery. Joseph also looked like an Egyptian at this point, where the brothers still kept the same style and dress of the Israelites. Though verse 7 says that Joseph spoke roughly to his brothers, it seems unfair to assume that he did so in a spirit of vengeance or anger if we look at how consistent his character has been up to this point. According to BibleStudyTools.com, quote, "It would be an injustice to Joseph's character to suppose that this stern manner was prompted by any vindictive feelings. He never indulged any resentment against others who had injured him, but he spoke in the authoritative tone of the governor in order to elicit some much longed for information respecting the state of his father's family, as well as to bring his brethren, by their own humiliation and distress, to a sense of the evils they had done to him." End quote. In other words, Joseph spoke with the authority of his position. Now, why did Joseph accuse his brothers of being spies when he knew that wasn't the case? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. After going through the information on BibleStudyTools.com and the MacArthur Bible commentary, link in the description, it seems like Joseph wanted information about his family and their state. So he went about it by accusing them. And what's the first thing most people do when they're accused of something like this and they're innocent? Naturally, they want to try to explain to their accuser who they are and of their good intentions, right? Though, honestly, the brothers calling themselves honest men might be a bit of a stretch, considering what they had done to Joseph and the lengths that they went to cover up the crime. To keep up the act, Joseph throws the brothers in prison for 3 days as suspected spies. Then he tells them that if they want to be proven innocent, they must bring Benjamin to him. I think Joseph already has in mind how he wants to reveal himself to his brothers, but he wants all of them to be present. This is just speculation, though. BibleStudyTools.com claims their confinement had been designed to bring them to salutary reflection, and this object was attained. For they looked upon the retributive justice of God as now pursuing them in that foreign land. The drift of their conversation is one of the most striking instances on record of the power of conscience. End quote. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, after binding Simeon, Joseph sends the remaining brothers back to Jacob with food and the charge to return with Benjamin because, quote, he feared God, end quote. Little did the brothers know that Joseph had just given a clue to his identity, though it was pretty vague. As he told his servants to load the brothers' sacks, he also had them return all their money for the purchase. When the brothers discovered the money upon their return to Jacob, they were afraid. Perhaps they thought that Joseph would consider the food stolen, as there was no payment, and chase them all down as criminals. In reality, it was Joseph's generosity. And finally, when the brothers told Jacob that they needed to bring Benjamin back with them in order to retrieve Simeon, Jacob despaired. He already considered Simeon lost to him and refused to put Benjamin at risk, even if that wasn't the case. Even when Reuben offered his own 2 sons' lives if he failed to keep Benjamin safe, that offer was likely preposterous to Jacob and would have been easily refused. Even so, Reuben's offer showed the depth of his commitment. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, feedback, or suggestions, leave them down below in a video response or in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all soon in Genesis 43.